What is going on, YouTube and weight loss warriors? It's your boy C-Dub, and I'm back with another video. And today I kind of want to talk about obesity and some statistics and being healthy if you're obese and kind of how all of that works together. And I'm going to do it right after this. What is going on? If you're new to this channel, my name is C-Dub and I lost 125 pounds eating just one meal a day, or OMAD. I'd like to welcome you to the channel. I hope you become a subscriber and a weight loss warrior. I started this channel to hook you up with tips, tricks, knowledge, and ideas that I learned along the way in my journey to help you out on your journey. And again, I'd like to welcome you. And to my subscribers, my weight loss warriors, the people that come in and day out and watch my channel and help this community grow so that I can reach new people and help them on their journey, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. And today's topic's important, so let's just get right into it. When we talk about obesity, we hear about it in a lot of different lights, but it's becoming a word that some people even say we shouldn't even say, although it's a medical term. So I want to clarify that obesity is a medical term, and there's different stages of obesity: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and all the way up to morbidly obese. So there's different levels that you can be when we talk about being obese. But a thing that we hear all the time is, well, I may be obese, but I'm healthy, or you can't just say that someone is obese, so therefore they're unhealthy. And of course, we all know that there's elements of truth to that, and then there's elements that are kind of not true too. And so I kind of wanted to break that down, and I had two different life experiences recently that I wanted to tie into this video, and one of which was just me skimming over some articles, and I ran into an article that said that you can be more healthy if you're overweight than if you are at a normal weight. And it caught my attention, so I read it, and it was just a hogwash of an article. And so I wanted to address some things on that we can take any statistic and make it seem like it's what, the facts are, and that's just not always the case, especially when we're talking about when you really are reaching for something, but you can maneuver it in which a person doesn't even realize you're doing it. And, so that old saying that there's lies, damn lies, and statistics is so true. And what do I mean when I say this? In this article, it said that one of the reasons that you can be more healthy if you're obese is that you're less likely to die from being hit by a car. Like while you're walking, if you get hit by a car, you're less likely to die if you're obese. Well, obviously you have extra padding, so it's going to make less impact on your internal organs and your bones. And it also said falling off of something tall. Like, of course, those things can impact you. Of course, the higher the thing is, the more likely you are to die if you're obese, because you'll be traveling at a faster speed. But if you're falling from like a one-story building, you're going to get the chances of you surviving are more likely if you're obese. But look, we're talking about something that happens to people 0.0000001% of the time. Like the odds that you get hit by a car while walking are astronomically low, when the odds of you having a heart attack are astronomically high. So you're putting one thing ahead of another thing when it doesn't make any sense. Common sense would say that that's not a good angle. But the one that really got me, the one that I said when people reading this article could really look at this and read it and then take that as fact and move forward, and it's just not a good way to look at it. And what the article said was that if you have a heart attack at a normal weight, you are more likely to die than if you have a heart attack and you're morbidly obese or overweight. And instantly I was like, what? And so I was reading about it a little more, and then I thought about it, and then I started digging into some of the numbers they were speaking and looking at some of the research they did, and I realized that, well, that's true but not true. And here's what I mean. Most people that have a heart attack at a normal weight have underlying heart issues that are genetic, that have nothing to do with being overweight or being unhealthy or healthy. They were born with a heart defect of some sort. And when they have a heart attack, it is so much more likely to die if it's a genetic problem than it is if it's a problem where your arteries are clogged, where somebody that's overweight would have it. There's different levels of heart attacks and different levels of heart severity. So if you're at a normal weight and you have a heart attack, yes, you are more likely to die because the chances are you had some kind of heart disorder. But on the other hand, you are more than 4 times more likely to have a heart attack if you are obese than somebody that is overweight. And then it's another 4 times if you're normal. So you're talking about a huge gap in how many people are having heart attacks. So yes, in this small, teeny, tiny little group of people, they might actually die at a higher percentage, but not an astronomically higher percentage than the people up here. But these people are having so many more heart attacks. And that's where we take a statistic, a little example of something, and we totally skew it. And then on the other side of that, I have a personal friend that I walk with and hang out with a lot. And they are on the probably on the morbidly obese side. They might be on the obese side, but probably more the morbidly obese side. And they have been trying to lose weight for a while. Now, anybody that knows me in my personal life would easily know that I don't push weight loss on anyone that I know. If you are overweight, I am never going to tell you to lose weight. I'm not going to get in your face about it. I wait for the person to approach me. It's pretty obvious that weight loss is a big topic of my life, and it's obvious that if you've known me for a while that I've lost weight. Nobody can walk up to me that's seen me in the past and then not know that I've lost weight. So I figure those avenues are enough for them to start a conversation with me. And this guy started many conversations along the way. I've told him all about OMAD. I've tried to help him out. And recently he's lost probably 20 pounds. So he's been doing well. But he told me today that he thinks he's going to give up on the dieting, that he's not really going to do it anymore. And so I said, oh, really? Well, why is that? And his comment back to me was, well, he had gone to the doctor, and the doctor said that all of his health markers were outstanding and that he had nothing that was unhealthy. And so he said, why am I over here not going to get the fast food that I enjoy, not eating these things that I enjoy when I am healthy? And so he said, you know, being healthy and obese, what's the point of worrying about it? And this is something that we get pushed on us all the time. And I think it's part of this health at every size movement and part of this movement that, hey, listen, just because you're big doesn't mean you're not healthy, and all of that's going on in the world. But I want to caution everybody. At the end of the day, if you don't want to lose weight, you don't want to lose weight. And if you want to say, hey, listen, I'm healthy at whatever size, then that's more power to you. What I'm here to do is to try to kind of point out the fact that it's not really as true as he thinks it is. And so I don't like to tell people straight to their faces, but I kind of hinted at it and kind of let him know. But ultimately, when we look back at some of the facts here, I looked at a study, and the study basically looked at people that were overweight, and it did testing on all of them, and they were all in their 20s and 30s and the early 30s and late 20s. And they tested, and so was the young man that I know, and they tested all of their markers for health. And the group that was healthy but obese, they took that group and they said, hey, we want to see you again in 5 years. And they tested them, and 96% of that group, 5 years after they had tested him, had developed higher risks at everything: pre-diabetes, heart disease, almost every statistical thing you don't want, showed signs of early dementia, everything we don't want. 96, that none of them tested 5 years prior, 96% of them. So only 4 of this group, let's say 25 to 35 years old, when they increased from 5 years later, only 4% still were in the healthy category. So I want to stress that you can make it all the way to 100 years old and be morbidly obese, but you're going to be in the minority of people that can do that. The minority of people, there are some people that can just be healthy no matter what they do, and that's a wonderful thing. But the odds are, the facts are, the chances of that being you are very, very slim. So you've got to be able to understand that part of this and understand that just because your health markers are great today does not mean that you're likely to be great next week, next month, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and so forth and so on. And so that it's never too late to get started. And the message that I want to push out here the most is, no matter if you have a laundry list of health issues, which I know some people watching this channel have pre-diabetes, diabetes, they have heart disease, they have early signs of dementia. The list will go on and on and on of people that are there. The good news is you can recover from all of it. All it requires you to do is grind at your weight, put it as a priority in your life, and get at it. And you can reverse all of these things. Things that took you 20, 30 years to develop, you can get rid of in a year. It just requires you to be willing to commit to putting the work in. And I know since you're on this channel, you're committed to it. Just don't buy into the hype when somebody says, okay, yeah, you can be perfectly healthy and obese, because if you're able to pull that off, you are the exception, not the rule. Obesity is not in itself something that means that you are unhealthy. That is true. But obesity increases your risk tenfold, and you cannot forget that. And even if you're good today, doesn't mean you're going to be good forever. So I hope all of that stuff makes sense. I hope you're able to get that and kind of understand it. And if you want to get started losing some weight, I got a video popping up right here. It's actually a playlist. It'll give you a couple videos to watch to get you started. Right over here is one that YouTube thinks you're going to watch. In my face, it's right there. Click on that bad boy and subscribe to this channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Talk to you next time. Peace.